The third episode is called Death Star versus the Alliance.
Yeah, this is a big transition to make in your mind, you guys. Here's the deal. What I just pretty much showed you is that the deep state came in with their corporation and they're operating with an entirely different beneficiary, and it's not we the people. So if you think you can invade the Death Star, if you can think you can join the enemy in order to infiltrate from within, you got another thing coming. For all the people that are currently thinking that they should run for government or they should hold office or something like that for or on behalf of we the people, what's going to happen, first of all, is you're going to get in if they let you, and then you're going to have to sign an oath to the enemy. You're going to have to sign an oath. Your word is your oath. And you then become a pawn in their system, and we all know their system, right? I mean, if you think you can go in and take out a multi-trillion-dollar crime syndicate, you kind of have another thing coming. Now, this sucks, right? Because it's really the only option that we've been given. And when you're given one option, what do? You take your only option. And so what I'm trying to tell people is there is actually an alliance. There is a republic that has been vacated. It's sitting there, whether Trump has restored each of those on behalf of each state or not. But like I said, there are 37 vacated offices that have an original state flag and an original state seal. Now, I did see him and the military do a ceremony about 3-4 weeks ago in front of the White House. Now, you said you've seen a few of these ceremonies in the past, so I'm really not sure, guys. All I'm telling you is we got to find the alliance. And if we don't find the alliance, we got to restore the alliance and reclaim the alliance. No more Death Star. I know this comes as a huge shock to anyone who's running for office right now, but here's the deal. They're going to get you in their system, then they control you. They control your voice. They control your image. They control you with honeypots, death threats, force. They use bribery. They force you into bad situations, blackmail. I mean, you have no choice in there, and you're just one of many. I don't know, stormtroopers in that case. And again, this is a multi-trillion-dollar syndicate that is international. I should just say it's international, right? So the Death Star isn't really something you can easily just go fight. I think it's better to think about manifesting and leaving the Death Star and walking away, literally walking away. I'm actually telling you, do not fight, flight, freeze, just walk away and into the alliance. When I say walk away, I'm actually saying redirect all your energy. So think of it for a minute. How much time, money, effort, energy have I spent trying to join the evil empire? Seriously, or the news we've watched. So the time we spent watching these idiots on podiums, and they're just there to make us think we have these little mini wins. We're not even scratching the surface, of their reflector shield. So, it really is, you will remove these restraints and leave, that is the solution right now. Just let them remove the restraints and leave the Death Star, go find the alliance and go restore your republic, because that's where we, the people, are the beneficiaries of the trust. Otherwise, you're simply joining the enemy. You're feeding the beast. It's kind of like when you have an abusive relationship and you realize it's abusive, but it takes two to tango. If you stay in that abusive relationship, you're just as guilty. And now you know. So yeah, leave the evil empire. It's time to walk away. We have some blood on our helmets. It's time to take them off and walk. It's a big shift. It's a big shift in thought. So I'm actually genuinely asking each and every person that's watching this to spend some time over the next week and ask yourself, how much are you investing in the enemy? And how much are you investing in the solution? And I truly believe there are governors, lieutenant governors, secretaries of state, treasurers, a House and a Senate, meaning an entirely different Congress that you're not even seeing. They're just not at the podium yet. But if you can go find them, and here's the thing, Richard, is they already did it in Texas.
Yeah,
Texas
can you talk about that a little bit?
Formally restored their republic. They never were happy about the fact that their republic seats were vacated. They won in their federal courts. It is all documented. They have restored their republic. I believe that the temporary governor, his name is Billy Ford. I have not met him yet, but I have met the de jure sheriff, meaning the rightful sheriff of the republic. His name is Sheriff Joshua James, and he's great. I've had him on my channel before, and they're trying to do a documentary all across Texas where they show everyone how and what they're doing by reestablishing their alliance in Texas. So Texas has already started to restore their Article 3 common law courts. So you can actually call your trial by jury and start to learn the original common law system. So they're bringing back judicial tribunals, and anyone can invoke these courts. So even if you're not in Texas, and in fact, they're letting other people join the Republic of Texas, even if you're not in the country of Texas. And I'm kind of talking about each of them as separate countries, right? Because they do have their own trust indenture and their own rules, which is their original constitution. But they're allowing people even from across the world to join their republic. You just don't have a vote unless you live in the state. So this is huge. This allows people to make a choice. And this is the thing, we've never had a choice, Richard. It's like, so this is what's so crazy. We never had a choice, or at least we didn't know we had a choice. But now when you're given a choice, you have an opportunity to walk in honor. And it's not honorable to join the deep state. It's not honorable to join the Death Star. Sorry, guys. I know that's really hard to hear for those that have spent so much time, effort, energy, and made social commitments to their followers to join the Death Star and to represent we the people, but you're not representing we the people, because when you join that trust indenture, you're only representing the mafia. And the mafia is making all their money, like I said, by enforcing crime policies, taking money out of our Cesta KV trust, operating in commerce, drawing money out of people's trust to keep them in prison, even though 80% of the people in prison have no victim. These are victimless crimes. They were just trapped in the system. And that's why in early 2020 that Trump let everyone out of prison. I don't know if you guys remember, that was pretty freaky. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's COVID. All the people are being released from prisons. Did you not hear about that?
Well, speak more on it. I'm not sure.
Well, so what he was really doing was he was defunding the counties. And then their narrative was like, oh my gosh, he's defunding the police. No, he was defunding the counties because he let everyone out of jail. And 2/3 of the revenue for the crime syndicate comes to the county from people being enslaved.
Right, it's a business.
It's a business.
So who did he let out of jail? Because I don't remember.
He let all the prisoners out.
All of what prisoners of what?
All the prisoners that were held captive in the county jails. And we were all freaking out. We were like, oh my gosh, what is he doing? Well, it's ingenious, because what he was doing was just kind of cutting the head off a snake. He was actually defunding them and removing some of their power over us by defunding the evil empire one piece at a time, one chunk at a time, until they essentially bled out. You know, you cut the head off a snake, it bleeds out and it keeps slithering for quite a while. And it seems like it's alive, but it's not. In fact, I have heard by a little bird that California has also turned back to the Republic, and that all counties except for 3 have capitulated to the original restored Republic. And everything that I explained in that last segment about the corporations, they've all essentially they were defunded when they let them out of prison, but they are all essentially operating in fraud, because they're not operating in the public as a trust indenture that we the people support or subscribe to. So everything they've ever done since they took office supposedly is them posing as a government official. And there's actually a $250,000 fine, under Title 18, I believe it is, $250,000 fine for every single person who is posing as an elected official for the Republic. So every single elected official right now, you could literally find them under the affidavit process that you can find under Affidavit Warriors, because they are posing as an elected official, but they are not. So again, don't join the crime syndicate, because now you become liable for and an accomplice to their crimes. So it is not an honorable walk to join the enemy and to try to infiltrate the enemy that way. It is actually more honorable to join the alliance and to realize the foundation by which our forefathers gave their lives to protect us, because they knew exactly what this enemy was all about. Yeah, so stop feeding the beast. All right, so that's going to close up that segment. The next segment is basically the history. I'm going to explain to you guys how Lincoln basically saved us and was, I believe, assassinated due to the fact that he was actually our trust protector.
Okay, great.